Finally, guys, we're going to talk about the thing that I know that we all really, really want to talk about because it's the most impressive episode ever of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Full spoilers for Season 3, Episode 5, entitled 4,722 Hours. I'm not even going to read the bullshit description because this is just Gemma Simmons doing her best on an alien planet. Whole story as it is. All the space sex and all. So, Mario, what did you think about this episode?
It was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I was unexpected too because I the whole time I was just like, when is this? When is this gonna come? Because at first I thought it was just gonna be the intro. So I was just like, when is this gonna end? Because I don't want this to kind of end. And then at a certain point it clicked, like, oh, this is just gonna be the episode. Oh, hell yeah.
Actually,
and then I didn't want it to end again because I was like, fuck, I want more.
Yeah.
What happens next?
I actually I didn't know it was going to be this, right? But what's their name? Actress who plays Sky. Chloe Bennett.
Yeah.
She tweeted out last week sometime. Make sure you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this Tuesday because actress who plays Gemma. I can't remember her name.
Oh my god.
But the actress who plays her basically carries the whole episode and knocks it out of the park. I'm like, all right, and I just thought that meant there was like a major scene or something, or she does a good performance. And then I watched the episode. It starts, and honestly, as soon as it started with the scene from the end of season 2 and pulled it around, I'm like, oh, this is what this is going to be. This is going to be It's kind of like in Lost season 2, how there was an episode that showed you everything from the other people in the island's perspective for the first couple of months that they were on there. And I'm like, okay, that's what this episode's going to be. It's going to be her on her own, and what happened over that 4 months, 6 months period, whatever it is. And even give it a different title screen to give it this really unique feel, which I thought was great.
Yeah, they did that with all the credits. It was all just different kind of font. It was all very alien, which made sense because, of course, she's stranded on this alien planet.
Yeah.
So let's just get right into the meat of it. I mean, just very quickly, Alan, you liked it, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. So let's just get right into the meat of it. Because we've got basically, 3 acts here. The first act in which she first gets there, thinking about everything very scientifically, stay in the same spot, try and, make do with what you got, that kind of stuff, until she breaks down and has to just go searching for stuff. So what do you guys think about this opening bit?
Riddick. It felt like Riddick, but with
the whole thing was the Riddick and the Martian. It's kind of like if you put those together, it's basically what you got here. Yeah. She had to fight off that thing and stuff.
Yeah. When she found the water and she was lying in it, I was like, something's in that water. Something's going to grab her.
It was so quiet. There was like no music there. And that was what made it feel very creepy and eerie because I think you could hear the wind or something in the background. And I was just like, oh, this isn't going to be good. This is going to be really, really bad. And yeah, the thing that made me wonder or think at the beginning was that, man, her cell phone battery is lasting a really, really long time.
Yeah. But then she explains it with, you just made up this crazy phone that can last for fucking 4,000 hours.
Because when she's looking at it next to the water, it's meant to already have been like 70 hours. And for any of our phones, the phones would be dead for like 2 days by that point because they last a day and you need to recharge them.
Right.
And I'm like, what the hell? Has she just turned it off for the last 3 days and not been looking at it? And then later it's like, oh, Fitz put like a super battery in it. That's good.
Well, I mean, obviously, first thing she did was she turned off the location services because that eats up your battery a bit.
Turn off the
Took
Wi-Fi.
all the apps off. Made sure everything was closed. Went to airplane
Pandora
mode. Just make sure.
No YouTube.
No, you gotta assume that there's some kind of like Stark technology or bullshit.
Right. I think what I really like the most is how much emotions it take you through the whole episode. Because it makes sense in the very beginning. She just assumes, oh, well, they're just gonna come find me in like a couple hours. Like they're not gonna just leave me here. So she's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go investigate real quick, and all right, cool. Yeah, I got a couple hours to check this out, and then it really starts hitting that. She falls asleep. I think that's when she really kind of realizes this is more permanent.
Yeah.
and then and you can see the progression of now she's curious to afraid to hungry to scared to then more scared because she got kidnapped by this crazy dude to less scared, less scared. Transitions to being happy and then horny for a little bit, and then
Yeah, so
no, but
let's
even
go
that
ahead and
adds a
jump.
whole nother layer of complexity to it too. Because then you're like, fuck, well, I understand. She feels about the situation. To her, this was so months, and to him, he was just devoted to finding her. And so you understand why both people are at different
Yeah.
points.
See,
And just
as soon as the guy who like captured her, like actually came out and we realised he's kind of just a normal person. I could sort of see where it was going in that sense.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, it's a man and a woman
Yeah.
stranded on a deserted planet with
I
death
actually had
outside.
I actually had a different feeling on it because we had seen her like start to break down and stuff, and then you get that scene of her laying in a cot by herself, and it's like the only cot that's in that area, and she says something. I think she says "Goodnight, Phil." Maybe.
no, she says goodnight Fitz,
And
Okay.
then
and then she
she
says
looks up and
goodnight.
says "Good night, Will,"
Yeah,
Goodnight,
which is the
Will.
name of the
Yeah.
other guy.
Right. And because she said that, it made me think, oh, well, she's crazy. She's imagining
You know,
this.
actually, I did that. That
Oh,
occurred to me at one point as well that maybe Will wasn't real.
And I'm thinking that, well, I mean, not anymore, I guess, but I was thinking that it would be interesting for them to go back and realize that there was no one there, but they have that whole thing at the end
Yeah, the
where
post
he
credit scene,
goes
yeah,
gun,
goes
yeah,
against that. Yeah,
yeah.
right.
it
So
did occur to me though at one point that that might have been something that was happening. But assuming right now that he's real, when they did actually kiss, my heart sank a little bit because
Yeah, but
yeah,
but they did it so well too
yeah,
because she and he understands immediately. Like you talk about him all the time, and the way you look at his picture on their phone, like you're clearly more than friends. Like you're obsessed with this guy, and like she like literally like, and even like I remember her phone, like she's like the last bit of her battery. The last thing she says is goodbye, Fitz, and it really helps that she realized that she gave up hope. Like she really just thought she was never going to make it back, so she just kind
yeah.
of realized, well, I'm never going to see him again. Will's a pretty good, pretty awesome guy too, so I'm just good. This is my life.
That's kind of her way of getting past it too,
Yeah,
because I mean, she can't, she knows she can't focus on Fitz if she's going to be there forever.
and
You know,
my boy Fitz at the end, like he's like, no, we're gonna find him. Like I know
he's so fucking cool. I love that guy so
that makes
much.
me
Shit.
feel like shit. But you know what? I'm gonna do it.
I care about you so much that I want you to get what you want as your friend.
Yeah.
And it hurts because I mean, don't get me wrong. Deep down, I know that by the end of this show, they're gonna have their moment, and we're all gonna cry and be like, sobbing because they're finally happy. We'll get something like that, I'm sure.
But then he might be a leaf in the wind, and we don't know.
Oh God, don't say that. Don't say
Yeah.
that.
All right, so let's. So obviously, we all are very into the character relationships, the growth, everything that they did in this episode is very bold and different
But
for
can I
Agents
say
of Shield.
something?
Yeah, go for it.
We've still not talked about my favorite part of this episode.
Yeah, all right.
Yes, they
let's-
banged out, Peter. We
No.
know that.
What's your favorite part?
This episode, assuming that when this comes back in whatever form, weird, whatever, they keep the feeling that it had in this episode might have introduced my favourite menace of the entire MCU. Because the villain or the entity or whatever it is, even if it wasn't real, even if it was just like in their heads, we see this sort of dark stranger who's got all the cloaks on, and then later on it looks like an astronaut. But the idea that there's something on the planet that's coming after them, is a menace that none of the villains in the MCU have really ever captured for me.
Yeah, because it's vague.
What about Winter Soldier?
Yeah, Winter Soldier.
Because
got
Winter
that a
Soldier's the
little bit.
closest, but Winter Soldier's a little bit different because ultimately that's going to be a story of redemption.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also he's a person with feelings and thoughts, and this is just like we don't know anything about this.
Yeah, but
yet.
this is a taste thing, though. This is what I'm saying. For me, this is kind of like my perfect villain. This is my force of nature, Michael Myers villain. That's just an entity, and I like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I tend to not get into just
But not in a shit way, not
straight
like
up
Malekith.
evil,
And,
like just
not
blank
not
slate
like
evil.
Malekith until the Dark World, where it's just like, well, I've got no lines to give him, so just he'll be there. Like it's not like that. This was
Right.
actually interesting. This intrigued me.
Yeah, the fact that it tries to trick you, that it's basically just this storm that comes through the cosmos. Maybe he's got like a shiny chrome surfer dude to alert people about him. Who knows?
It's almost like being on the Lost Island and there's a smoke monster going about. It's kind of
There you go.
that kind of
a lot of
feeling.
comparisons to draw here. Mario, what was your favorite part of the episode?
I mean, I don't know about like a part. I think just really how much you've changed, how you feel about the situation was my favorite part about it. Like the whole thing didn't have one theme of like you feel bad for her or feel good for her. Like you constantly changes, but it does it very naturally. Like nothing about this at all felt forced. It all made complete sense.
Yeah, it did.
Within the character, within the situation, within everything.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they did this. I'm glad they said, because they could have spread this out over 3 episodes and had like flashbacks within the episodes.
Yeah.
Like telling this, and that wouldn't have been as effective. This was better than doing that. This was one episode. It's basically a short movie of just this story.
Yeah.
And it can just be this character. And I
Yeah.
kind of love it when shows do that, actually.
Yeah, I'll say the effects. I mean, the monster thing that attacked it didn't look impressive because obviously it's not a movie, but like the effects though. I mean, obviously it's kind of grainy, so it helps kind of hide whatever effects they're doing. But it looked good. Like it really did sell it. Like she was on this other place, like in the desert. Like in Milk, it was in the middle of nowhere, which I imagine they weren't in the middle of nowhere the whole time.
And a lot of that was just down to the color palette, but it's effective. It works.
Yeah.
I love the line.
Sorry, go
Where
ahead.
did the sun go? What did you do with it? Alan, what was your favorite part?
I would probably say that the end with Fitz was really my favorite part because it's not a character aspect that you see a lot in TV because I mean you automatically assume that he's like pissed off or something, and that would be kind of the way it goes. And that's one thing I really like about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is that they always keep you guessing, and they keep the pace up. They never let down. I also really liked kind of like a world building aspect was all the trinkets and stuff that she finds throughout the desert and the bones and everything.
Yeah, that was payoff to the that flashback at the start of episode 2, I think it was, where it was like the castle in England and it was like 1850 and the guy goes in with a sword.
Yeah, so it gives you a lot more depth to the show, I think. So it's pretty cool that way.
Yeah, I'd agree. Well, before we wrap this review up, I want to know if you guys had any gripes at all with this episode.
There was a little bit of acting issues that I had whenever she was like really freaking out. I think it was probably the sun part. There was a little bit. There was like a moment where it was like I just couldn't believe her for a second, but then I kind of got caught back up in it.
I feel like because it was TV, they had her talking a little bit too much. Because unlike a film, I think TV feels that they need to have characters having like dialogue, whereas it might have been just a little bit more effective had she done everything through action.
Well, like Riddick's like that. I mean, he's quiet for like the first 35 minutes.
Yeah, there's no talking at all.
He gets kicked into the thing, and he literally doesn't talk again for 30 minutes.
Yeah, but he's like a super badass, and she's a scared scientist.
No, yeah, but I mean, well, he's got a broken leg, and he's all kinds of fucked up. But he doesn't need to say anything because who's he gonna say it to?
Yeah,
right.
And then he gets the desert alien wolf.
He's an alien wolf.
So most of my gripes about this episode, actually probably all of my gripes, are with this Will character, not because of the actor or how he played it or anything like that. Just more on, one, that guy looks too young to have gone into NASA to be a part of a special trip like this, and then, 14 years have passed?
14 years.
The actor's 31 and he looks 31. Like, it's not believable at all to me. Also, he's been there for that long, and
so he'd have been 17.
Right.
Well, yeah, depending on how old he's supposed to be. Yeah.
But even just the way that the guy looks is just. Also, he says, "I'm not very sciencey," and then turns out to be an astronaut.
Well, he said that he was there to protect everyone.
Yeah, he was the
like he was the
bodyguard.
one that had a gun.
That's
He
such a
was basically the
vague-
military guy there.
He was Ben
on
Grimm.
patrol.
on this
Yeah.
mission,
Yeah, pretty
basically.
much.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. It's a lot of convenience there, which I understand.
His age is a fair point. Although I did like the idea that this NASA at one point had the monolith and was experimenting with it.
Yeah,
I
and they
thought
set
it
up
was really
some.
strange that she didn't question that. You know, because it seems like she might want to talk to him more about that, like what it is, because she's a scientist. And
I mean, maybe they did, and we just didn't get to see it.
yeah,
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 it
I
was
mean,
6
also
months.
they jump around a lot.
yeah.
You
I mean, the
tell,
great
like,
thing
they just-
about jumping around this much is that in future episodes about them trying to get back to find something, she can just drop some info that, oh yeah, Will told me this thing this one time because we had all the time in the
Yeah.
fucking world to
Or
talk
they might
about
even have
anything.
more flashbacks just for specific conversations that are more relevant to plot in the
That's
future.
true too,
Yeah.
yeah. Mario, did you have any major gripes?
No, I mean the only thing that would be actually convenient is getting the cell phone to power up a computer.
It's that Stark battery.
At the
Yeah,
same idea
yeah.
as like the Jurassic World. Hey, this Jeep's been sitting here for 15 years, but it's cool. I got like a pliers and a little bit of gasoline. And that obviously fixes everything, right?
Yeah, it just works magically somehow. Who knows? Steve Jobs, Tony Stark. Somebody made a thing that made me be able to do it. Who cares? So yeah, that was the awesome, very awesome. Would you guys say best episode ever, or up there?
I would say it's
Best-
up there because it is different.
Yeah.
Like it's not fair. It's like comparing The Martian to the Avengers or something like that. Just to keep it kind of relevant to kind of how these two episodes, like how the
Yeah.
episodes compare.
Right.
I'd say it's the best episode of this season, easily.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thus far.
Definitely.
Well, we'll definitely say that. So that has been the best episode of the season for Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.